tell us your most unhinged way that you get yourself motivated to write when you feel like your life is too busy. And I'm talking like actual like unhinged, like not just like sitting in your office and like separating yourself from things. I want to know like the weird, crazy stuff that you do to make sure that you write.
Darcy. And then for me, I want all the practical advice that you've got. Hey guys, welcome to the Untitled Workin' Podcast. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Darcy.
This week for the podcast, we're diving into how to flex the muscle of writing, what to do basically when you're working a full-time job and trying to find time for writing, ways that you can kind of build structures and things and space into your life and your schedule that give you that creative freedom. But before we jump into that, we should probably update you guys on where our work in progresses are at. So Darcy,
yeah.
Where is your work? What are you working on? And where is it at? I already know what you're working on. I think we all know what you're working on.
Yeah. So officially now,
Yes.
I'm working on the novella. So it is our prequel to Unholy Vows.
Yes.
The title is a work in progress.
That's not the title. It is literally a work
it's
in
literally
progress.
Untitled work in progress. Like that's what it is.
No. Oh man, I veto.
Just like a bunch of things titled Untitled work in progress.
Where's the veto button? No. Oh my gosh.
So that's what I'm working on. We've discussed it a lot in depth.
Yeah.
Matilda is very forthcoming on this one, unlike the novel where we were struggling a few episodes back.
Yeah.
She really wants me to know about Gregory and how much she loves him and how much of a pain in the butt he was.
The best relationships.
Yeah, honestly. So that is like the main thing I'm working on.
Nice.
I'm really like, I kind of just scrapped not like scrapped, but like put a pin in all my other works in progress.
Yeah.
Cause I really want to knock this out, and get it done. Cause I know we want to go for an end of the month release, hopefully.
It's happening, Darcy.
That's what we're working towards. Yeah. That's what we're working towards.
Yep.
So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on telling how they got together, how they met, or how they fell in love,
cute.
pretty much. Yeah. So
it's sweet.
I think you guys are gonna really enjoy it. So far, I'm already like, oh my god, I'm so sad about what happens in the sequel.
Well, it's really like the main story. We just wanted to like make it even cuter and more tragic when you read it, that you're like crying by the opening page.
I gotta give you trauma as a writer.
The best writers.
And then I guess my other works in progress are just figuring out how the marketing of things works, trying to get us like trying to be more involved in that, because you were doing a lot of that in the beginning. So I'm trying to be more involved in that and try to take some off your plate while also working on the novella. So what about you? What are you working on?
Good question. You know the answer. It's the same thing. Well, I'm not working on the novella. I actually just finished the brand new draft of The Torch, which I'm so excited about.
So exciting.
Yes. I've had 2 people read it, Darcy and one other person, who'd given us some of the really good notes that helped rewrite the entire Torch, which is really reshaping and rewriting the entire, like, not concept, but like the script and the novel and stuff, making sure we're on the right track, which is good. You want to get the pivot, as referenced in the earlier episode, the pivot. See that episode for details, because I don't want to have to repeat it all. But yeah, truthfully. So no, I mean, it's just a lot. We'll be here for 12 days if I repeat everything that's in the other episodes. Yeah. What? Okay.
I'm really excited though for the new Torch. I think it really nails like where we're going with everything.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we've got that written as like an outline, but like the scenes are written out, the dialogue's written out. I just have to format it now as a script. So that will be that's kind of, well, that'll go in the goal section. LOL. A little too early. But yeah, that's what I've been working on, is the Torch. And then I'm going to be working on a lot more of the marketing while I wait for Darcy to finish the novella. And then I'll go through and I'll edit the novella. And it will be out on October 31st. I'm saying it out loud. I'm giving us a deadline. Darcy hates my guts right now. And she's like, why would you say this?
I need you guys to know too. We'll go into this in a later episode, but novellas, like, they're shorter, but there's still that short. So much. Yeah, there's still so much.
I might come in and ghost write.
Yeah, it's only been like what, 2 weeks since we decided on the pivot, and I've got 3 weeks. Well, I have like a week to finish the novella and be edited.
AI is not writing any of this, so if it's really bad, just know it was us.
Oh wait, no. If it's really bad, we can just pretend it wasn't me.
It'll all be my fault because I gave us the deadline.
Wait, no. It's nobody's fault. If it's bad, it's bad. Just enjoy it regardless.
No, I have too much of an editor's eye to let something go out that's like atrocious, like grammar, punctuation wise. It might have some flaws and stuff. I'm not saying at all that it's going to be flawless, but
I mean, it'll be my first book that I'm like publishing, so it's going to have some flaws.
Yeah. Oh, fun. Nice. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. That'll be really fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've had
our first baby.
Oh yeah, it's our new baby. I've had
baby project.
I've had poetry like published in like a magazine before, but never never a story. I've like because I posted like obviously on AO3 fan fiction, but like this is
lots
like
of fan fiction.
Yes, so much fan fiction. But this is like this will be my first baby that I'm like truly like releasing into the wild. So
into the wild, it is gonna get wild. Not in this one, but later. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I really can't wait. We're probably gonna keep this episode somewhat short so we can go write because I actually am looking forward to writing. I want to go get something done.
My since we started like marketing more, like my Instagram feed is like full of like writing tips or like other writers, and I'm like, I wouldn't do that.
We are going to talk about that later on how you can.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
right.
I think that's it. We're just working on the torch and marketing, or not the torch even. Like I'm wrapping that up. We'll send it out. And then marketing and the novella, and that's the goal for October. And also, we're kind of probably using October, this is more of the marketing realm, to start to build the muscle for NaNoWriMo.
Yes.
So, is that how you pronounce it? NaNoWriMo?
I think so.
Rimo?
Nano, because was it national, or no, national?
Anyways.
November National Writing Month, so NaNoWriMo. I think that's,
National November. Anyways, whatever. I just realized for a second I don't think I've heard that said out loud. Anyways, so we'll use October probably for more of that, and then November we'll have a fun NaNoWriMo setup, and we'll be working on the novel and releasing the novella so that you guys can read it and hopefully give us some good feedback.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys just like it. Like, it's just a cute story. Like, I don't write romance. I don't really read a lot of romance, but this story is very cute and very fun. So
yeah, I hope everybody really likes it. We're gonna something too just to mention, throw out there, is that we want to have possibly some ARC readers for the novella.
Yes.
So if you're interested and you want to kind of get a sneak peek before everybody else,
I don't know how much of a sneak peek it'll be.
Yeah, it'll be a really short sneak peek.
October 29th, and then it comes out on the 31st. You have 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to read it.
It's a novella.
It's supposed to be, so hopefully but you get a little sneak peek beforehand. I personally would like to, whoever becomes an ARC reader, once I get situated with figuring out the paperback version of it, I'd like to send you a free copy of it, as a thank you for being an ARC reader. That's
see that, because that costs money.
Yeah, well, that's I've been trying to put a little bit away since we started talking about it, so that I can do that for depending on how many ARC readers we have. Like, I don't know if I can afford it for like 100.
If we open it up to the floodgates like Bree Wilde did, she had like 700 ARC readers on one of her books.
Yeah, I can maybe do it for like 10. That's about as much as I have saved.
Oh man! So
but
people
if
go
you're
buy the
interested
book
in that,
so that we can afford to send you the book later.
There you go. But if you are interested in that, you can send us an email at untitledworkinpodcast@gmail.com. That's kind of our main form of communication.
Yeah, right now it is for sure. And we'll get more going down the road as we find a way to bring in some dollars.
Yeah.
And have time.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll happen. If you suddenly see a Pepsi sponsorship, Pepsi appears in all of our novels.
When we're done with this, I got to reach out to my contact in Pepsi to see if the steps to get them as a brand partner.
That would be awesome. I don't even mind that they're not the king of this part of the world. That would actually probably be better. Give them a little bit of a leg up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay, I think that's it for works in progress. That's what we're working on right now, guys. Yeah, and also tell us what you're working on in the comments below so we can hopefully keep encouraging you guys and let you know that you've got someone rooting for you.
Yeah, self-promote for sure. In those comments, we want to see it. We want to hear about it.
We don't have time to read it because we're writing. But
yeah, but maybe down the road. But like,
down the road. It'll be our hiatus we go back to, like when we take a break from the podcast for the holidays, we'll go back to the comments and just be like, all right, what do I need to read?
I would love to do that, actually. If you guys want to self-promote, I would love to go back, like, if anything gets released before the second season, for just stuff that I, like, do, like, little reviews on and, like, help you guys promote yourselves on Instagram itself. Not any, like, big major project, but just, like, something that I'd love to spread the word. Give you guys support, since you're giving us support.
Yeah. Not quid pro quo, though.
No.
Not at all. Oh gosh. Okay.
So
in our pen to paper section, I know, right?
The meat of
it. Darcy, tell us what we are focused on today.
So today we are focused on how to balance writing with life.
Yes.
In more depth, working full time, having other projects that you're working on,
being in school.
Just how to figure out how to carve out a little corner for yourself so that you can have writing time and still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because I know that's such a hard thing to figure out as a writer, and we are in the depths of that right now. So
oh my gosh, yeah, Darcy's pretty much living all the options. She's working full time, she's going to school, she's writing, she's marketing, she's doing all this stuff. Yeah, it's a lot.
I picked the worst time to be like, hey, you know what? I'm 30 and I want to go back to school for journalism.
Have you watched The Paper yet on Peacock?
I have not.
Oh, it's all about how journalism is dead.
Oh no.
But it's like, it's from the people who made The Office. So it's like, their whole thing was like, paper in a paperless world. Like, we're following a paper company in a paperless world. So they're like, we're following journalism in an era where, you know.
That's cool. I actually like that.
It's a good premise. It's a good show.
I want to do this kind of journalism, sort of like what we do with our guests. Like,
yeah.
So hopefully it's not
good
totally
practice.
A dead profession.
No, not at all. It's like, it's right up there with like underwater basket weaving. Oh, I'm kidding.
Okay. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of
What? No one's ever like joked that you wanted to go into film and you might as well just go into underwater basket weaving as well.
No.
Oh my gosh, that's the line I would get from people all the time of like, oh, what degree are you getting? Underwater basket weaving? It's about as good as like journalism or theater or like, I mean, journalism back then was actually quite a good degree to get. It's still a good degree.
Well, let's hope so.
No.
Because I'm putting a lot of time into it right now.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, no. It's going to be a great degree to get anyways. I just thought it was funny you hadn't heard about underwater basket weaving.
No, I haven't. That's funny. I'm going to have to like look up more like the lore behind that because I love looking up like lore behind like sayings. So
100%. I don't want to get on a tangent, but they're really, really fascinating. If you haven't looked them up, like Jack of all trades, master of none, you should look that stuff up.
I love that. That's my favorite. Not to go into tangent of it, but just because you mentioned it specifically, just because you mentioned it specifically, I'm going to say this really, really fast. The actual phrase, Jack of all trade, master of none, better to be good at many than only good at one.
Yes. Yeah. You know what's so funny? That was like on one of my first dates with Kenan. He was like, fun fact. He was like, he started talking about all these like random quotes, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know a couple things. And we started diving into it. It's funny. Yeah. Anyways.
The blood of the coven is thicker than the water of the womb.
Yeah, I don't remember that one, but like, yeah, there was so many of them, but we'll get on a really bad rabbit trail if we
balancing that.
Yes.
I know your schedule looks a little different because I know currently the film industry is not as active right now in Georgia.
Correct.
But you're still working on like a ton of things. You basically have multiple projects that creates a full-time job for yourself.
But they pay like I'm a volunteer.
Oh no.
So I'm working 3 full-time jobs with no dollars. No, it's fine. So for a producer, like, development is kind of the name of the game. You want to have multiple things in development so that when one of them gets picked up, you can then move forward and make the project happen and get paid and everything, and then go back and focus on the other ones. In the ideal world, I'd have like a team and we'd be making enough money to cover them to push the other projects forward while I'm making sure that the production and post portion of the project, or the pre-production through post portion of a project, happens and is executed correctly. But right now we're in the grinded out stage. So that means, we are jacks of all trades, all of them. Someday we'll be a master of one.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that'll ever happen. I think that, I was talking to someone the other day and they were just like asking, like, why do millennials and Gen Z like do everything? Why don't they hire people or find other ways to do it? And I'm like, because they can't afford it. If we want to step out of the traditional path, which is a lot of artists, then we have to hustle and we have to grind and we have to be willing to take on things that we don't want to do. We're entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You just look at it as like being an entrepreneur.
They say that like entrepreneurship is like up. Like, it's
100%.
It's so, yeah. I can't tell you the amount of business accounts that I'm like opening at work and stuff like that. And they're like young business owners. Like, they're not older people. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, because now's the time to do it when you don't have a family or a mortgage or any assets or liabilities, depending on how you view children. No, not a bad way. Just sort of like, you pour a lot into children.
You do. It's a full-time job in and of itself.
And it doesn't pay anything.
No, it does not.
And you can't quit that volunteer job. That derailed fast.
That derailed so fast.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have 2 very different schedules, very different setups. So hopefully we can bring 2 very different perspectives to this. For my schedule, I would say that for any schedule, but I would say the number one thing that I think is important for being able to create space and time and energy and the will for writing is accountability. So whether it's a friend that you're like, hey, will you check in on me in 1 week? I need to have X done by that week. Or, hey, would you just like check on me whenever you think of it and just like text me and like have that reminder? Or it's a family member or a mentor or a classmate or a coworker. Like, Darcy's got some coworkers that she talks to about the project a little bit and shares some of the the updates and stuff, and they seem to really enjoy it. And so it's like, whoever in your life is rooting for you, and I think you'd be surprised at how many people there are rooting for you. I think you just have to ask and just say, hey, I just need a little bit of support. And you don't even have to say it like that, it's a little too formal, but just letting them know, hey, this is what I want to do, this is my dream, and this is where I want to go, and these are the steps I'm taking to get there. And just keep it small, keep it bite-sized, kind of like we talked about in a different podcast, or the pivot. Be like, hey, I want to have 100 words done by whenever. I want to have 500 words done by whenever. I want to have a chapter done by whenever. So I'd say accountability is the number one thing I would start with.
Yeah, I think that's a really good place to start, because that's been helping me a lot with this project specifically. Because I've been certain stuff that I've been working on for years, and I can't sit down and do it. But with this one, you're counting on me. Yeah. And you're checking in with me, and I'm like, even if I'm sitting there at work and I'm like,
leave me alone.
It helps. Like, no matter the frustration that comes, it's not like a genuine frustration or anger with your accountability partner. It's just, I know I need to be doing this, and I want to be doing it, and I'm still like, it's just a general frustration.
I was going to ask, what are some ways that you build space into your schedule or your life to be able to write? What are some of the things that you do? Because I think that'd be really helpful for people, because you work a full 9 to 5, you do school in the evening, like, you're a working adult who's also going to school.
Yeah. It's a little hard for me. So, a little backstory too on this is I have a couple chronic illnesses. So I get sick a lot, get worn out a lot. But it's been difficult starting out. I think I've started to get into a rhythm. My biggest thing is if you have downtime, like at work or anything like that.
Oh,
you
yeah.
have the availability. Like if you're allowed to have a notebook by you and you don't work on a computer, or if you do work on a computer, if you have the downtime and obviously not cutting into your work, write a sentence, write a thought that comes into your head about the story itself, so that you remember it when you are on your lunch break or when you're home. That's like a huge thing that I've been doing, just when I have the time, because my work ethic is insane. I don't like slacking off at work. I beat myself up. Like if I like have a day where I'm not feeling good and I like move a little bit slower at work, I'm always just like, do better, and like which isn't great, but like
no, I get it.
Yeah, so that's like a small thing that I've started adding into my schedule so that I can keep creativity alive in my day-to-day life, so that I'm not turning it off. Because I think a big issue that I found in the past with keeping consistent with writing while I'm working is that I exit that creativity mode and I go into life mode. And that sort of seems to be the thing that stunts the progress. So writing things down on just a piece of paper when you think about it, having like just little bits of yourself that you like, just take a little break on your lunch break, on your 15-minute, like jotting stuff down. Not even going in depth into it, I think helps keep you in that creative world so that you don't exit it. I know I read literally yesterday on an Instagram post, Rebecca Yarros, the author of Fourth Wing, had commented and said one of the most unhinged things that she'd ever done to finish a book was that she locked herself in her office with a mattress on the floor for like multiple days so that she could write 17 hours a day and never exit that creative world. And of course, if you're not like able to do that because you're working full time and stuff, you have to find little ways to sort of mentally lock yourself in that office.
I would say even too, just to piggyback on that, I know like you were saying, not everyone has access to a notepad or sticky notes, or it's like not okay to have out, or you're moving too much. I mean, using voice memos, I text to my email a lot of times. If I have an idea, I just throw it in there, and it'll even be like, this song vibe, take this moment, put it on that. Like, it'll just be super sporadic or simple. Or for some people that just like being able to talk and free flow and not having to be constricted by like typing speeds and stuff, just talking to like into a memo and then sending it to yourself so that it pops up somewhere. Especially if you're someone who needs everything to be like clean and organized, if it's popped up in your inbox, or it's a notification unread on your phone, or you set some sort of way that it's like annoying and you have to deal with it. It works great.
And building off of that too, if you have somebody that is your accountability partner, sending them text messages, like quick little like voice memos, like your watch, you can record voice memos on your watch. Sending a quick one to them instead, if you don't want to send it to your inbox, is an excellent way to not only get input at the same time as keeping yourself in track in that world. I also think carving out time. So
that would be number 3.
So the next part is carving out time, which can be really hard because a lot of the times after I'm working, because I work 7:30 in the morning until about 5:30 at night.
Dang.
I get home usually around like sometimes I get home around 5, sometimes I get home around 6. It just depends on the week because we alternate. We have like late shifts. So getting home from work, it's really hard for me to get into like the wanting to write mindset.
Especially when you're tired. You just dealt with traffic. You've been working all day. It's dark out now. Your vibe is not creative frenzy. Usually.
You just want to sit and relax. And I think that's super important to actually do as well. Like maybe have like, so Wednesdays, right? Wednesdays are my set writing day. So like even when I get off work, I come home and I write, because with my job, I get to go in later on Wednesdays, and I usually leave like around the same time, but I got to sleep in a little bit more. And then we usually do our podcasts and stuff like that. We do that on Wednesdays. So I've like kind of carved out Wednesday as like my creativity day, even when I'm working. And I give myself permission to just, like, even if it's 30 minutes, even if you're, like, you're home and you're exhausted, and even if you're just staring at the page and rereading, give yourself 30 minutes, one day a week. That's not the weekends, like one day during business hours, a week, that you just spend 30 minutes, or as long as you want to, of course, but like no shorter, I usually say, than 30 minutes, because if you sit there and because so if you sit there and you stare for like 15 minutes, you're not giving yourself enough time to re-enter the world.
Interesting.
So I don't take shorter than 30 minutes, because usually about the 25-minute mark, I'm like, oh, actually, you know what? I have an idea. Because I started to think about it again. I'll put on some music that like has the vibe of what I'm going for.
Always a good call.
Yeah. And then I start thinking about it again.
Yeah. Yeah. You should do that on your car ride home, so you like preempt it. That, or put on like a writing podcast, like the Untitled Workin' podcast, on your drive home, so that you're in the vibe for writing when you get home.
Exactly. No, that's what I do. That's if I'm not talking to my mom, I'm listening to something that gets me in the zone. A lot of the times that's when you'll get a text from me. Like the other day when I came up with
the
other day when I messaged you about that one specific thing that I wanted to do in the novella. Yeah. Was literally, I think I might have been it was late at night, I think. I don't remember. I had been listening to music, whatever it was. I was listening to music, and they started singing in Spanish, and I was just like, oh my gosh, idea. So that's when I messaged it to you. But
yeah, nice. It's interesting to hear you say the 30 minutes, because I think I've always operated under the 30 minutes until like probably 3 or 4 years ago, when I heard a video on like psychology behind time limits and procrastination. And the person was talking about, I'm not going to give the specifics because I don't remember the specifics of like the qualifications of the person. I just remember it's always stuck with me. Of being like, set yourself a 20-minute timer, because it's less than 30 minutes, so it feels less intimidating. And 20 minutes is like, oh, if I can just sit down and focus for 20 minutes, that's fine. And for the 20 minutes, just do whatever needs to be done and do it bad. Like we talk about all the time, like do it bad. But if you're going to write, be like, this is what I need to write. I need to write chapter 1. I'm just going to write something. And if I end up erasing it, it was only 20 minutes of my time. If it ends up not being quite there, that's fine. But usually what will happen is forcing yourself to do it will actually cause you to get something in there that you can either build off of or tweak, or it inspires the next thing or the right thing. And then it actually moves things forward and keeps progressing it. And because it's that 20-minute bite and you set a timer for it, which is the other thing, is setting a timer for it, it just goes by so fast. And then usually when I, like, now that I've done it a bit, I'll have the timer go off and I'll hit snooze, and then I'll keep going because I'm in a flow, and I'm like, I don't want to get out of the flow. And then before I know it, 2 hours has gone by and I've gotten all of this stuff done. But in the beginning, it took longer to get through it. Like I was not cranking out 2 hours worth of work before.
I actually like that a lot. I think I like the 20-minute rule. That's might help me actually, because I still struggle even with the 30-minute rule. But
watch, you're gonna do it, and then the whole novella is gonna be done in a week.
That'd be so nice.
Oh my gosh, yeah, dreams. So many good dreams.
Yeah, so like I love that though, the 20-minute thing. I think that's great. Yeah. I think that's an excellent way to do it, for sure, because it's basically just a more like factually sound version of what I already do that is less intimidating.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's almost like the 99-cent rule, right? Like stores put things for $5.99 or $20.99 or $19.99 because you're like, oh, it's not quite $20, but it's $20. Yeah. It's like there's a whole psychology behind it. And it's like, if you can just figure out like how your brain works and ways to make it feel less intimidated by something, or make something feel more approachable, which we'll talk about in a little bit, it helps so much, because then it gives you that confidence to step into it.
My biggest piece of advice really just goes off of your piece of advice about having people hold you accountable. Mm-hmm. You don't have to actually even put anything down if you're struggling to put something on paper. If you just talk about the idea to somebody, and you just keep talking with somebody about it,
verbally,
and anytime you have a thought about it, anytime you have a thought about it, you just are like, oh my gosh, guess what? And like you text it to them or you say it to them because you're in person, you're still writing because you're still creating that world, so that when you do have the time to carve out that little piece of writing time for yourself, you have all of these things still in there. And instead of just thinking about them, because I find that if I think about it all the time, when I sit down to write, all my ideas are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if I think about it and then I say it, the ideas are not only more ingrained into me, but I have somebody else that I can be like, hey, what was that thing I told you about? I'm struggling to remember
your
this.
brain bank.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah. So it's funny you say that, because I, like all writers who use Google Docs, have a massive Google Drive full of a lot of ideas that have been started. But there are 2 docs that I have that are a doc of one-liners or like dialogue moments, and a doc of like scene snippets. And it's just like it's just scrolling. It's like probably like 12, 13 pages each of just random one-liners, random pieces of dialogue, random scene moments that have just come to me throughout living life. And then when I'm writing, if I get stuck in a section, or if I'm going to start a new project, or I'm starting a new moment, I'll go through those docs and be like, is there anything in here I can pull? And if there is that I think matches with the story or is in the right tone, I'll literally cut and paste it into the other doc so that it's gone from there. It's already, it's in somewhere else, kind of a thing. So I'm not like reusing stuff. But it's really helpful, because when you get those like random ideas, you're like, what do I do with this? I shouldn't start another book off of this one line I thought of, but it doesn't fit this book. Yeah. So it's just like, it's helpful to have like those places to do like brain dumps.
That's an excellent idea. I think that's a really cool way to do it. Like, so that you can take it out and put it where it needs to go eventually. I love that. Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, because
I'll probably die and it'll be 20 pages still.
Yeah, I end up all the time coming up with like a specific line or a scene that I really like, and I'll write an entire book around that.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing to do.
Yeah. I will say, there are a lot of things that are going to try to take your time and your schedule and your creative energy. And some of those things are very valid. Like if you're a parent, you have kids to take care of. If you have rent, which probably most people do who are listening to this, or a mortgage, you have to be able to pay that. Otherwise you'll be living in a box, and that is not going to give you much space for writing. Like there's some responsibilities that you just have to be available for and take care of and give that space and time. But what's really helpful is to look at it and just do kind of like a self-audit and be like, is writing that important to me that I will create space and time in my schedule? Because really your schedule and the way it's built right now, James Clear from Atomic Habits says it, and I'll quote him probably a ton throughout this entire process, because he has a really great understanding on how to build structures that give you the results you want. And he's all about stop setting goals and start building systems and processes that get you those goals, because whatever you're doing right now is created to perfectly give you the results you're getting. So if you're not getting the results you want, it's because your system or your process or the way that your schedule and your life is set up is not set up in a way to give you those results that you want. And so and you hear it all the time when people talk about like they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps or whatever, or they hustled and they grinded till they got what they were dreaming of. It's because they changed things in their life and the way they did things and the way they had given time and energy and resources to be able to accomplish those things. And it's not a guarantee for success, obviously, but it puts you in the right direction. So I really like that a lot, because I listened to a self-help book once. I can't remember what it was. The book itself, I'll have to go back and see if I can find it and put it in like the comment or something. But I really liked it because it said, make the decision to do it and give yourself permission to do what needs to be done to get it done. Yeah. Because I did that, and at the time I had just moved. I was in a different state. I had just gotten a new job that sucked, but I really wanted a Jeep. Like I really wanted a Jeep. So I sat there and I was like, okay, I want this. This is what I'm going to get. I'm going to work towards getting this, and I'm going to get it by the end of the year, because and I'm going to build my life around being able to do that. And when I'm not even kidding, when I tell you I gave myself permission to like want that, because I wouldn't give myself permission to want things or focus on things, because I was so focused on work and life and like figuring things out. Yeah. When I finally gave myself permission to make that decision and then did that decision, I had the Jeep within 2 months. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bree talked about that. Author Bree Wild talked about that on the podcast episode she was on, is that she gave up the trad publishing dream because she pursued it for so long and wasn't getting the results she wanted. And she was like, but I don't have to. So I've accepted, you know, the way that this structure is and applied that structure to my life, but it's not getting me the result that I want. But this other structure of indie publishing will. And so when she, yeah, I mean, again, I'll have to say, I have to keep prefacing, you just go to that episode and listen to it, because otherwise I'll repeat it and this episode will be 5 hours long. But yeah, no, I think there's just like there's a lot of benefits in looking and doing like a self audit and being like, if this is something that I want to do, it's not morally wrong, like,
yeah,
you know, like, you gotta preface that sometimes, you know, like, what do I need to do to pursue it? You know, we're given dreams and desires for a reason. Not that every desire should be pursued, but it's like, you know, there's things that we can strive for and things that are really beneficial for helping us grow. And I will definitely say working to become a writer is definitely a growth experience.
Yeah. I also think too, so my brother sent me this video on YouTube a while back about how hobbies have become capitalized and it's taken the joy out of it. Yeah. I think that's like a really big part of doing that self-audit too, is realizing like, okay, you have to do certain things to make money. And even though you want to like do this and become professional and make funds off of it, you really have to make sure that you, within that self-audit, remind yourself that you're doing this because it's something you enjoy, and give your fully, like, I cannot stress enough, give yourself permission, because that's your biggest hurdle, right? If you say, I give myself permission to do this, it helps rewire that thought process. And if you give yourself permission to just do it because you want to do it and it'll make you happy, and you're said, okay, I have all these chores that need to get done today, but is it going to be the end of the world if they don't? Or am I just told it's the end of the world because my house is a little bit messy now? And then give yourself permission to just be like, actually, I'm not going to do any chores today. I'm going to focus on this because I want to do it.
Next week, obviously, Darcy's roommates are going to be on being like, okay, I don't know what y'all are saying, but Darcy hasn't done any chores in a week.
Obviously, like, don't let like your actual like responsibilities fall to the wayside, but like,
no, I get what you're saying. saying.
Give yourself the permission to just focus on yourself. Like, that is such a big thing that I've figured out within this process, with having how much I've had going on in my life, is really just sitting with myself and being like, you want to, like, this is your dream, and you are finally in a situation where you could possibly pursue this dream and have it happen. Yes, okay, go to work every day, do what you have to do, don't call out of work or anything like that, because that's your life. But your dream is also your life. Like, the whole point of life isn't to work and work and work and work. The whole point of life is to live it. And I know with the way society is, that's hard to do sometimes, but if you just find those tiny little bits of time within your days where you're just like, I want to do something for myself, let yourself do it, because not only will you be happier for it, but you'll also be able to produce better content. Like, you'll be able to write it, and you won't be focused on the income of what, like, oh, this has to be perfect because I want to sell so many copies of it. If you're just like, I just want to write this because I like doing this, then do that. Don't, like, I mean, how many times have I said it? Do it bad. Like, just do it bad. Don't worry about what you can make off of it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. I was going to say, I think on top of that too, is in that self-audit is really, like, just be honest with yourself of like, do I want this to the level it will take me to get there? Because like you were saying, a lot of people have monetized their hobbies and then you lose the joy in that, because when you work or it's a business, like you're saying, of like small businesses opening stuff, that comes with paperwork, that comes with taxes, that comes with HR, that comes with like all of these things that you don't, shipping, all the stuff that you don't think about when you're going to start it, because you just love what you're doing and people are like, oh, you're good at it, I'll pay you to do it. And so I think there's an element to it being just honest and be like, I just want to be a hobby writer, or I want to be a fan fiction writer, or I want to be a writer at this level, or I just want to have something published, and so I'm just going to find a way to publish it and it'll be what it is. And then if you want to compete at those other levels, like, compete at those other levels. Like, there's so fewer barriers to entry now that it really does come down to, are you going to do it? And that really falls down to what your systems and your processes are. So kind of jumping into what James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits is he has 4 rules for how to basically build that structure in. And then there's like 4 antithesis rules to it. So it's like, if you want to start a habit, these are the things you do. If you want to stop a habit, these are the things you do, kind of a thing. And it's usually when you're looking at your schedule, I don't think a lot of us have a ton of just like downtime, that we're just like kicking it, as my mom would say, eating bonbons and watching TV shows. Her go-to line every time. She's like, what do you think I do all day? Eat bonbons and watch TV shows. I'm like, no.
Oh, no.
You are the busiest person in the world that I know.
That's funny.
But going back to, James Clear stuff, is that he talks about, one, make it obvious. So if you're wanting to write, setting out the computer or your notebook or whatever, is putting it right there, making it obvious. So when you see it, when you get home from work, it's right there, ready to go. It's, it's set up. It's something that you're like, oh, I see it. I remember it. I'm going to do it. The antithesis of that is whatever is distracting you is make that unobvious or not obvious. What would that word be? Not unobvious. That's bad English.
Put it away? Like,
I mean, that's the practical element. I was like, so if you normally come home and you make dinner and you Netflix and just, chill on the couch and just vibe, then put the remote away. Like, truly, like, stick it in a closet somewhere or in a room or under the couch or somewhere. Inaccessible. Thank you.
That's the word. Yeah.
So make it obvious and then make it inaccessible. So if you tend to play video games, he literally says, like, unhook your console and stick it in the back of your closet. So that when you have to, so it's an effort to choose that thing. So that's obvious. And then the next one is make it attractive. So like one way, I'm like super motivated by coffee, right? So like one thing that I'll do sometimes is I'll be like, I can't have coffee until I go write X amount, or I can go get a coffee at a coffee shop if I am writing blank pages, or I have to be at a coffee shop for 2 hours. So I have to, set up that time or block it out on my schedule. So making it attractive. And then the antithesis of that is make it unattractive. So it's like, if you would, I don't know, what's a good example of making it unattractive? Like a habit that prevents you from writing.
That's so hard, right? It's like video games, because I want to keep it like within the same premises like video games. So like if you play video games all the time, right? Make it unattractive in sort of like, I guess, do it like comparison maybe. Like if I go out and I get this coffee, I'm gonna have a really good time. I'm gonna get sunlight. I'm gonna get daylight. I'm gonna get to do something that I really enjoy. And then if I stay home and play video games, I'm not gonna get to do the thing that I love.
Ooh. Yeah, or what if I don't know if this would fall under unattractive or not, or like you tell someone on this date, I am going to this coffee shop to write for 2 hours or whatever, and ask them to follow up with you by that night or that afternoon or whatever, like when you should be wrapping it up. Because then it would be unattractive to have to say, no, I stayed home and played video, or I just hung out, or I went to the park, or I did something different.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it.
Okay. Okay, so the next one, number 3, is make it easy. So like making it's kind of similar to make it obvious, but it's kind of in the realm of like you bring down barriers to entry. So like I think the example he uses, if I remember correctly, is like you want to work out and get fit, and so you put your gym bag with all of your clothes and stuff for gym by the front door at like the night before. So when you get up, instead of being like, oh, I have to go do all this stuff and find my clothes and I just am too tired, you just get up, roll out of bed, grab your shoes, and head out the door. Yeah. It's right there. So whatever making it easy like that would be for writing would probably be, maybe if you're in school, you'd put your like writing notebook in with your other homework or notebook, your other books for school. That
was like a huge thing that I did in like high school and stuff, is I always had my writing notebook on hand. Yeah.
And then the antithesis of that is make it difficult. So if you have a habit that, you tend to lean towards that is taking up time that you would rather give to writing, make that habit difficult.
Hide your cord for your PC. If we're going with the video game thing.
Yeah.
Right? Put the cord on the opposite end of the house. So you'd have to get up and go retrieve the cord just to play your video games.
Yeah. Yeah, or like what's something practical for like someone who's like a mom, someone who has kids, or someone who like works a lot. Like if you have kids, what would maybe make it easy would be like schedule a time for you and your kids to go to the park that you can write while they're playing, kind of a thing, so that your stuff and their stuff is together.
Yeah, schedule a play date where you're with other parents so that you don't have to keep as close of an eye, like, because you're in a trusted environment with trusted people. So then you can focus on the writing.
Yeah.
Make it a game with the kids. Like if you're a parent and you're writing something, obviously like certain genres, like, you know, you got to keep some things away from the kids. Make it a game with the kids where like you give them these two characters and you give them like some of their vibes, and then you like are like, act out a scene for me, and then like they're doing that, and maybe they'll say something or do something a little goofy, but you'll be like, you know what?
That actually works.
Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah. And then the fourth one is going to be make it satisfying. So like it kind of goes into the make it attractive element of like, what is a goal that you want to achieve? Or trying to think of how to say this.
To make it satisfying, look at the things that you like to get when you've done a job well done. So
yes. What is that called? Pleasure stacking?
Yes.
Is that what it
so
is?
like I think so. Do it as like a sort of dopamine seeking activity too. Like you like coffee, right? And you go to a coffee shop, of course. Okay, so you get your first coffee, right? But like what if you're somebody that like also wants a scone? Don't get the scone until you've written 2 pages.
Yes.
Give yourself a little treat as a reward.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I think I got this from that book. I don't remember which section it falls into, but I for actually my work, because I had such a high volume of stuff, I calculated about how much of the volume I had to get through every week, and what it would cost to get it through, or what it would take to get it done each day of the work week that I was working. And then I crumpled 15 sticky notes, because it was like 15 tasks that I had to get done every day. And I would crumple up 15 sticky notes and I would put them in a bowl, and then I would have an empty bowl next to it. And every time I finished one, I would move it, because then I could visually see them moving over. And then once I finished the bowl, I could go get like a snack or whatever. Usually my work day was over by then.
Yeah. Just whatever, like, if you like people hyping you up, right, when you like do a job well done, set it to where your friend has to message you in 2 hours, and you like they have to message you in 2 hours and be like, so like when you sit down, you start, right, and text your friend and you're like, hey, in 2 hours I need you to call me, text me, whatever, and just ask me what I accomplished, and then I need you to hype me up when I tell you what I did. So then that way
Words of affirmation.
So like if that's what helps make it more satisfying for you, have that set up as a way that you can do it. So then you'd be like, oh, I actually wrote 3 pages today, and it might not seem like a lot, but like your friends gonna be like, oh my god, that's 3 more pages than you had. Make it obvious. Another one for that is that I actually have a reminder I've set on my phone every hour during the workday to drink water, because I notoriously don't remember to drink water. And I was talking to an ER nurse one time, and he was telling us how few ounces your body can actually absorb every like 15 minutes. And so it's like you really need to be just like they say, hydrate throughout the day. You really just need to be like sipping throughout the day to be hydrated, because if you just chug a full 8 ounces like in one go, you're only going to be able to absorb a small portion of that, and the rest is just going to like go through your system and not actually be a benefit. And so whenever I would see that reminder pop up on my phone, I would just grab my water bottle, which was right next to me, and take a sip and put it back. And then I'd be chugging like coffee and tea for the rest as well. But it was like just the water portion was like, that was my reminder. And then it's a notice on my phone. It's a notification that I have to clear. And it's super easy to do. It's easy. It's obvious, and it's easy, because all I have to do is hit the button and it's done after. So like stuff like that. Just that makes it easy, the pleasure stacking, all this stuff. I mean, like I said, we'll probably talk more about some of his principles throughout the process, because there's just some really good practical ones. But I think as far as like ways that we have structured our lives or found ways to build time and space into our lives for writing, I think that's kind of a good place to kind of wrap things up. I feel like that's quite a few things, actually. Yeah, because I like making like I guess another example too of like making it like satisfying. I love when my mom reads things and like gives me her feedback.
Yeah.
So like that's always like something I'll be like, I'll send her like when I'm done with like my session for the day, I'll just send it to her and be like,
Yeah.
hey, can you read this? And that's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
how
yeah.
I make it satisfying, because she just
Yeah.
comes back with like her thoughts and stuff.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome. I love that.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot
I
of
love my
different ways.
mom.
If you thought of, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so if you guys have thought of anything, or there's any areas that you're like, I'm trying this, or these are my like my parameters around life that I have to hit that we didn't address, yeah, I would just say throw them in the comments below. We'd love to hear what's working for you guys, or what ways you guys are looking to make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying.
Yeah, well, no, I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just helpful for us.
yeah, helpful for us. So helpful for us. But also helpful for like your fellow writers too. Like,
Yes.
sharing.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
We're back in preschool.
Yeah. I think we're in like the non-gatekeeping era too. Like that's like the whole
Yes.
like era that we're in. So
Yes.
sharing is a great way to build that community and support. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, it would be really cool, just because I think what works for Darcy's schedule and what she's like, her perspective and way of writing, and even just style of writing is probably different than what works usually for my style of writing, or the way that I write, or my structure, or my life situation. None of us have kids. Like, so if you have kids and you're like, oh, I've done this thing and this helps, like if there's someone else who's, listening or reading the comments that has kids, they're gonna be like, oh, that would actually be so helpful. There's just different life stages that different people can speak to, and that's why we love having the writers community, chime in and share your thoughts as well.
Yeah, and like I'd love to also like in the peanut gallery eventually have where we showcase like those kinds of comments and stuff, and like share them as like a, hey, just to follow up on this, here's some other practical advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
So definitely in the comments, tell us your most unhinged way that you get yourself motivated to write when you feel like your life is too busy. And I'm talking like actual like unhinged, like not just like sitting in your office and like separating yourself from things. I want to know like the weird, crazy stuff that you do to make sure that you write.
Darcy. And then for me, I want all the practical advice that you've got. I set a schedule, and at this time my alarm goes off for this thing, and then no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, we want all of it, of course. Yeah, but like
we've got like also mad chaos genius over here for Darcy, and then we've got like structured, formal processes, like engineer vibes over here for me.
Perfect balance. We'll get a little bit of everything for everybody else to learn from.
No, 100%. I feel like that's also probably why we co-write so well. It could go really, really badly, but I think we have just enough of each other's vibes that we make it work.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Kind of like, I guess, looping back to like the giving yourself permission thing too. So I know, well, I guess it's less giving yourself permission. So don't reread what you've written.
Oh
when
my
you
gosh,
sit down.
That's part of the 20-minute rule. You're not allowed to reread it.
Yeah, like in the entire time that you're sitting there doing whatever project that you're doing and you're working on, unless you're in the process of like rereading, right? And you're just getting the words on paper, don't reread it. The only time that you should start rereading anything, because you're going to get stuck, right? If you start rereading it, you're going to get stuck about trying to make this better instead of increasing the story and finishing it and then going back and adding these things in.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, so rereading it will take away from your getting the pen to paper story written. So don't reread it until give a break between when you wrote it. And like if you're the kind of person that has to reread, because I am, like I have to reread my stuff like whenever I go back in the doc, I won't do it for at least a week. I'll wait. Like the novella is a little bit different just because of how fast we're writing everything.
Frame. Yeah.
But like with my like novel that I've been working on for 6 years, I won't reread anything that I've written for an entire week, and then I'll go back in and I'll reread it because it gives you a fresh set of eyes, and it makes it so that you can dedicate time to just that portion of it instead of taking time away from writing it.
Yeah, another thing you can do as well is download it as a PDF and send it to yourself so that you can't edit it. And then that way you can reread it and refresh your mind of where things are at. And then you go back in and you tell yourself, if I had a thought, I'll respond to the email with that thought of like an inspiration. But when I go into the actual doc itself to write, whether it's a Word doc or a Google Doc or a different doc, it's only writing, pure writing, no editing at all.
That is a great idea, actually.
Just came up with it. I've never done it, so let me know if it works.
No, that's excellent. I think that's, giving yourself you can't edit it, you're just rereading it. I love that.
Yeah,
that's
but then
such
you have a space
idea.
you can still add thoughts to it. So if you're like, oh, there's a grammar issue in paragraph 2, or oh, I totally thought this hero's name should be something totally different now, or whatever. Yeah,
I love that. That is excellent practical advice.
Yeah.
I love that too. Yeah.
Sweet.
And if you're stuck in a dialogue scene, like,
just keep
I know
going.
this is, I know this is sort of like not on topic for like how to like get yourself to write when your like schedule's crazy. But if you're stuck in a dialogue scene, I saw this really excellent video. I'm gonna see if I can find her her and then I'll like add it to the comments. But she said, have the conversation out loud.
Yes. Yeah.
Like fully and entirely speak out loud.
Yes. Yeah.
The sentences that you're writing as dialogue, and then you'll hear if it sounds a little awkward. Like, a person doesn't talk like that.
No, 100%. I'm actually planning on going back through the Torch now that I finished it and rewriting the dialogue, but reading through it with a Texan twang accent or stuff for Bellamy's, because his stuff I was just trying to get out. So I know there's some stuff in there that needs to be tweaked and fixed because it's not like tonally appropriate or like correct. But yeah, no, reading it out loud is so beneficial. And even just reading like the whole thing, not just the dialogue part, but the dialogue especially, or getting someone else to read it with you. So if you have like another author friend or writer friend or an actor friend, if you know actors, I mean, they're not working a whole lot right now. So they might have some time. Or I mean, if you're in a smaller town or city setting, like there's community theaters and community acting classes, and maybe they'd love to have a piece of original work to just like chew through and see how it is. Or there's writers groups. I think one of the libraries up here, they host a writers group, and people will come in and they'll read each other's stuff and give feedback. So reading out loud is so helpful.
So helpful.
So sweet. Well, I think that's it for today.
Yeah, I think we touched base on about everything that we talked about, wanted to talk about.
Got some good stuff.
So biggest thing, please leave us your comments of your advice too, because we'd love to see it. We'd love to hear it. It would help us out. Don't forget, if you ever want to get in direct contact with us, our email is untitledworkinpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at Misty Morning Stories, as well as Darcy_Michaela. That's where we are on Instagram. And on TikTok we are Untitled Workin' Podcast. And if you want to follow specifically with just the things that have to do with the Unholy Vows process, that is at Unholy Vows Stories on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes, we have consistency. Oh, that totally reminds me, I didn't even say this earlier. One thing you can do if you're just trying to flex the writing muscle is do writing prompts. Little 500 to 1,000 word stories, or even less, honestly. And we have those on the Misty Morning Stories Instagram account. So I try to post every day besides Sunday. And right now I'm kind of fiddling with a couple times a day just to see what time frames work best for other people. So that might be too much information for our audience, but oh well, now you know. But
transparency. That's what we're trying to do here.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna keep that to myself. It just might be a little uninteresting.
Meh.
But anyways, so if you guys want writing prompts, we've got those on there. Joining a writers group. Misty Morning Stories. Yep. Yeah. So use that to your advantage. Use that to flex the muscle. If you've got 15 minutes in the morning before work, or if you've got 20 minutes or 30 minutes after work when you've got time, or in the middle of the day if you go to school, or whatever your schedule is, like just hop on there, see what's there, and just type something out. Yeah.
Writing prompts help, especially with writer's block.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to mention too, if you don't want to have to write down that very long-winded email address, it is in my bio. There's a contact button in my bio on Instagram. You can just hit contact. That email address is right there for you.
Yes.
So you have easy access to everything. And seriously, we would love it. Possibly, maybe, I don't know, if you guys would like and comment and maybe follow us.
Yes,
we'd love that a lot.
Shameless plugs.
Yes.
It's so funny. We've not done it a lot, and then people are like, literally like, well, where do I find your stuff? you don't tell me in the podcast. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think that was like a thing people still wanted. Not even needed, but just like wanted. I figured people would be over it. Be like, I already know to do that.
Yeah. It's a, what is it? What do they call it nowadays in the marketing field? A call to action. Like, comment, and subscribe.
That's the call.
There we
and
go.
And go right.
Yes, and go right, please.
Go right. Go do it.
We want to read it eventually when we have time.
Yeah. Eventually, yes. Please caveat that with eventually.
Yes. Yeah, when we have the time. Please self-promote yourself. Like, that's what we're here for. We are here to make a community where writers can talk to each other and promote their books and promote each other and take care of each other.
Well, and season 1 of the podcast will be wrapping up at the end of November. So, that we're kind of getting to the point where we're going to take a hiatus. So we'll have time to read things and write things and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So,
yes. So we'd love to hear from you. And please, always remember, everybody's a work in progress.
It's a process. All right.
We look forward to seeing you next week. We have a special guest.
Oh, yeah, we do. Bye. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Dead. Is it really noticeably different if I look over here?
It's not bad. I mean, I can tell that you're looking at a computer. You know what I mean? Because if you look at mine too, I'm not looking up. I'm looking down.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking at the camera.
Yeah. Okay. Because I feel like you looking at the camera looks fine, or looking where you're looking looks fine. But then I feel like I'm like,
if you don't do a full body tilt and you're just kind of turning your head a little bit, it still looks like you're just looking at a computer you need to see.
Okay. But it's not weird. It's if I look at this, it doesn't feel like I'm connected versus if I look over here, it feels like I'm disconnected.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
I think because it looks like you're talking to a computer, like you're looking at where you're talking. So
okay, cool.
I think that makes sense.
Sweet. All right. Do you want me to open this one? I know, right? La 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 la.
Yes, because we always make me open the guest ones, and I stumble over it so bad.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Oh my goodness. All right.
But I promise this time I'll actually say my name, so you don't have to do the whole. And I'll just you do. I'm
no
Lauren,
millennial
and I'll be
pauses.
I'm Darcy.
Perfect. I love it.
No laughing hysterically.
No, I know, right? They're gonna be like, it's not that funny, guys. It's fine. Just say your name.
That clip did really good on TikTok, though. It got
did it?
more likes. Yeah, it got more likes than most of our videos, and somebody commented on it. It was just I love the laughter. It really brought a smile to my face today.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah.
Very fun. All right. And it wasn't a weird picture of us, so
no.
Double bonus.
Yay. That was our first comment. That wasn't from family and friends.
I know, right? Yikes. Hang on, I'm gonna move this down just a smidgen. Because I have a lot more headspace than I want. Okay. Bada. Sweet. All right. Cool. All right.
And remember, everybody is a work in progress.
It's a process.
I didn't know if you wanted to say it or how.
No. Do you want to do it again?
Yeah. Do you want me to say the first part and then you say it's a process?
Yeah, let's do that. I was trying to find a way to jump in that was yay, it's cute, but that just came out awkward. That's us, though, to a T.
Always.
Pretty much.
All right.